Okay, here's our barn. My husband saw a picture that he liked on the internet and just drew it out like he wanted on a piece of paper before we really knew much about having horses. And over the past few years, we've added 3 horses to our little herd of 5 cattle. So they're out there right now in the pasture. A couple of questions came up about someone wanting to know what our setup was like in our barn, so I thought I would explain it real quick here. So we have just run-ins for the horses to come and go at will. We keep the barn totally open for whomever. It's in a pasture across from our house. There's our house. And so we can pretty much have an eye on everybody most of the day if we're home. We got a spigot hooked up out here so we could fill up our tank, which we keep under the trees there in the summer when it starts to get hot outside, and then we move it out from the trees when it's cold so it can get some sun. Keep our big barn doors open. We built our barn with a north-south. It faces north, like that way is north, this way is south. And we have a constant breeze pretty much. We're here in North Texas, so it does get hot in the summer and it does get cold in the winter. Here's one of our barn cats, Chubs. So the horses' stalls stay open. We keep their main gate open from their run-in and their stall doors open. So everybody just kind of comes in here at will. And lately it's been hot and humid here in Texas, so they do stand in the barn aisle for a portion of the afternoon, a good portion of it. They have 10 acres that they can come and go on. They have to go through the woods to go get to the other side. So sometimes that's not allowed if we have serious flooding. Right now it's not, so they've been making their way out to the other side every single morning, and they go up into the other pasture and hang out, and then they come here at feeding times, of course. They're right on time always. So in our stalls we just have the feed buckets mounted to the stalls, and each one has a salt block, and we don't lock them in their stalls ever except for when they're getting their feed done, and that's just for a couple hours, so we usually don't even bring the water buckets in, but when we do, we hook them up right here. And we learned the hard way to wrap those handles where they crimp on the edges, wrap it up with that wrap, because one of our horses tore his eyelid off by simply doing nothing but standing here sleeping, taking a little nap by his water bucket. Got his eyelashes stuck in there and pulled back, and that was not good. So as I said, we keep them open all the time so they can just come in here, get their food, and then have their salt along the way. That's what they do. And then they head out, unless we're riding them or something, and we'll keep them in here. Take one out to ride, or ride all 3. We'll usually take them down to the trailer by our arena and tack everybody up down there. Each one of them has a stall and a heat lamp in their stall. We did get the barn built for our needs, so we have some good lighting up at the top. And our lighting is just at the top, but it is very bright, so it's plenty. And then each horse has a fan and a heat lamp. And we've used both a lot. We do have a tack room. It doubles as our extra feed storage, so we're needing to go get a little bit more. Tack is there. It is not finished, but my husband had it spray foamed and insulated, so it stays at a constant temperature. And then the kitties rule the roost in here in the feed area. So we have a gate and some panels up, and this keeps everybody from coming in here. We have a cat house when our kittens were little and they needed some nighttime protection, but we let them out a few months ago. There's one. She's still little, but she's grown up. So we cut holes in it and we had it raccoon proofed because we had a bad incident with a raccoon out here There's coyotes and stuff, and a coyote couldn't breach the panels here, but a raccoon certainly could and does. We see their little handprints in the dust right here sometimes. So we just have chairs and stuff for the cats to kind of hang out on. I have my radio over there for when I'm in here cleaning the barn. An old dresser right there doubles as like an escape way if the cats do happen to be in their house at night and somebody comes and they need to get out. We cut holes in the side over here and made the plastic on the windows, we just cut little flaps so they could escape. There's one and there's another. Most of the time they sit up here or on top of the cat house. They like the bird's eye view. And then we just have pallets down over here and put our alfalfa on the pallets. And that is for, in addition to their little half scoop of feed the horses get. Each day they get just a big handful of alfalfa at each feeding to go along with their feed. So we try to keep the feed down, but alfalfa we feel pretty good about feeding these guys once a day. Not too much, just a handful. And they seem to do well. That's my little shelf unit. Some construction fans for when the horses are standing in here and we need extra air movement. That's about it. Oh, we keep our feed in these big Rubbermaid bins and just throw an extra bag in there. I keep it just a bag or two at a time. I think there's just one bag in here right now. Keep it closed and then just open it up and scoop from it. But that's about it. I open our windows for extra ventilation. We're expecting possible storms tonight, so they're closed, but the doors and all the openings in this barn give plenty of air movement, usually, unless it's super still. So that is a tour of our barn. Hope you liked it. Let me know if there's any comments or if anybody has any